Now, if you're like me, you just received the user interface update for your Amazon Fire devices. Now, whether you own a Fire TV Stick Lite, Fire TV Stick 4K, or the Fire TV Cube, the user interface should now look like this. Now, having said that, with the update, you might have lost some of the settings, or you might haven't touched these settings in a while, and definitely worth looking into. So some of these settings have to do with your privacy, some has to do with monitoring, and overall a lot of them will affect how your Fire devices perform. So this video, we're going to go through each one of those settings. We're going to make an informed decision. Most of them you don't need running, guys, so make sure you watch the entire video. Let's go ahead and jump into it. This video has been sponsored by PDFelement. If you guys are like me and work with PDFs, you know they can be a pain to work with. Now, PDFelement offers one of the easiest way to create, edit, convert, and annotate PDFs, whether you're on a PC, Mac, iOS, or Android device. With PDFelement, you can convert PDF files to Word, Excel, image files, text, RTF, or even HTML. You can also edit PDFs as if you're using Microsoft Word or your favorite text editor. Now, if you're like me and you're working with multiple documents, PDFelement also has a tool that allows you to easily combine those documents into one in order to remain organized. Now, with PDFelement, you can also set passwords which will grant permissions for editing, viewing, printing, as well as any modifications. Not only can you sign documents with PDFelement, you also have the option to add certified digital signatures to help recipients validate that document. Currently, there's 50% off on PDFelement. Use the links in the description. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. So to get started, we're going to go all the way over to your settings. So from here, we're going to go ahead and go to preferences. And this is where we're going to start. So the first one is going to be parental controls. Now, obviously, if you guys have kids, you want to make sure these are on, and you want to make sure you set a code. That way, if your kids try to access content that's not available, you will have a password set, and they'll need you there in order to approve or deny what they're trying to look at. So that's one setting you definitely want to take a look at. Next is privacy. Privacy is one of the most important areas in my opinion. So if you click on privacy, you can see you have three basic options here. I currently have them turned off. You might have them turned on if you haven't played with these settings before. So the first one is going to be device usage data. Now, if you look to the right, it says use personal data collected by the operating system of this device for marketing and product improvement purposes. Now, to be honest, most of this is going to be marketing. Very little is going to have to do with product improvement. So basically, they're going to look at your data and they're going to peddle ads or whatever to your liking. So that's one that I definitely turn off, and I definitely recommend that you turn it off as well. The next one is going to be collect app usage data. Now, if you look to the right, it says allow App Store to collect information on the frequency and duration of use of downloaded applications. I don't see a good reason why you want to leave this on. Basically, it's going to look at what apps you're using, whether it's a downloaded app from your app store or a third-party app, and it's going to collect data on that application, and who knows what they're going to do with that data. So definitely recommend turning that off as well. Third one, interest-based ads. So I have that turned off. So if you turn it on, you can see that you do have an advertising ID. If you click down, you can see what that ID is. It is unique to you and your account. Now, if you look at the actual description, it says if you opt out of interest-based ads on this device, apps will be instructed not to use advertising ID to build profiles for advertising purposes or target your interest-based ads on this device. Now, again, not seeing a good reason why you want to have that on. Definitely recommend turning that off as well. So next is going to be your data monitoring, and this is one setting that, depending on what kind of package you have with your ISP, or if you're using mobile data or something, this is something to consider. So what this does, it monitors how much data your Fire Stick is using, and if you're on a data cap, let's say you're paying for 50 gigs a month and you want to be notified, you want to be in that safe zone, you can go ahead and turn this on, and then it will give you a notification when you're close to that mark. So having it turned on right now, you do have the option to choose the video quality. You have best, good, or better. Obviously, the better the quality, the more data you're going to use. So pick that based on whatever your preference is. Next, you have the option to set the data alerts. Now with this, you can set your data limit for your Amazon Fire Stick. So if you're paying for 50 gigs, you want to be notified at 40 gigs, you can go ahead and set that number. Last but not least, it has the monthly top data usage. So to the right, it says report data consumption by apps for the current billing cycle month specified in the data alert setting. So what this is going to do basically is say, hey, for this month, YouTube and Netflix use this amount of data, and Amazon Prime videos use this. So basically just give you a breakdown which apps are eating up most of your data. So like I said, for me, data monitoring, I don't need it. I don't have a cap with my ISP, or I don't use mobile data, so it doesn't affect me that much. But if you're someone with a cat, this is something worth considering. Now next is going to be notification settings, and to the right it says turn off all notifications. Pop-ups are block/unblock notification from specific applications. So these are going to be app notifications. Turn on to hide all application notification pop-ups, or you can turn it off, and then you can go to your apps and you can choose which apps you don't or do want that notification for. So for me, this isn't a big deal, but if you guys don't want that pop-up from specific apps, I can go in, I can say, hey, Distro TV, I don't want any notifications. So for me, I'm just going to turn it on to hide all notifications, but completely up to you. It's another thing that's going to be running in the background, that's going to pop up, that's going to kind of slow my devices down. So I'm just going to leave it on where it says do not interrupt. So this one is kind of worded differently, so you have to read the description to the right just to make sure you're picking the correct action. So featured content is another big one. I have both turned off, and I'll show you what that is. If you hit your home button on your Fire Stick, and if you go all the way to the top, sometimes when you just launch your Fire Stick, the video up top will start playing automatically. So with the settings, you do have the option to turn off the video as well as turn off the audio. For me, this is annoying, so I'm going to go ahead and turn both video and the audio off. Let me know what you guys think of that. Do you find that video playing up top useful? Do you find the audio useful? Like I said, for me, it's just kind of annoying, and it always catches me by surprise for some reason. So really don't need it. So sync recent content, I do have that on, and what that is, guys, if you have multiple devices, you have Fire Stick, Fire TV Cube, they're all on the same account. If you're watching something on Prime Videos upstairs and you want to go downstairs and watch it on your Fire Stick, that content should sync over to that device as well. So that's going to be useful in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and back on out. Next, we're going to go to my Fire TV. Within this area, guys, this is not too much affecting your device, but this is an area that I feel like you should be familiar with. So if you click on about, it's going to tell you basic information about your Fire Stick, your device name, the version that you run, and the serial number, the software, as well as the account. So just something to keep in mind. If you go down, it's going to give you storage, how much storage you have available. It's going to give you network information, your MAC address, your IP address. Definitely will come in handy. And most important in this area, you're going to have the option to install updates as well as check for updates. You can see I have an update pending, and let's go ahead and install it. Hopefully it doesn't restart my device. All right, so that update was just installed, and now I can check for update again. You can see I'm currently up to date. So definitely just something to keep in mind, area that you want to get yourself familiar with. All right, so last area we're going to talk about is your applications, and like I said, for some people this is just refreshing. So you do have some options here for your App Store, your photos, as well as your game circle, and also manage install apps at the bottom. So as far as the App Store, it gives you the option to automatically update your app. So for me, I leave that on, guys. I don't want to have to do anything manually. Just let it take care of itself. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. You do have the option to turn it off or on. External market link. So if you click on that, it gives you three basic options. You can open with the App Store, don't open, or ask before opening. I just leave it at ask before opening. Next, you have your in-app purchases. With some apps, you can purchase in-app items. Some examples of in-app include newspaper subscriptions, additional game levels, premium content, or extra functionality. So again, this is something that you want to play with. For me, it really doesn't matter that much, but definitely a setting that you want to be aware of. Manage your subscriptions. You need to go to the website on your computer, and you do have notifications, whether you want to turn on notifications about your App Store or not. Now, same thing with Amazon Photos. You can allow guest connections, access to Amazon Photos. That is enabled, and you can go ahead and turn that off as well. Now, Game Circle is going to be similar. You can either turn it off or on. I don't game on my Fire Stick or on the Amazon ecosystem, so this is a setting that I really don't need. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think of these settings. Let me know which settings you're currently using, which settings you've disabled. Also, let me know what you think about this live area with the video that pops up that I went ahead and turned off. Let me know if you find that useful. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.